Hey guys, so this is the second part of the battery build 72 volt nominal 70 amp hour, so somewhere around like a little over 5 kilowatt. So on the last video we built that, so which is 10S 14P. This is the other 10S 14P. So we're just gonna put them together. So this is exactly a copy of that. So if you want to see how this one is built, just check that first video out. So we're just gonna put them together and then build a 20S 14P. So before we go further, before we put them together, because they're really heavy, we need to do main positive and main negative outs. So because they're gonna be this one and that positive, this positive line is gonna be in between. Like once they become a sandwich, they're gonna be in between. So we were not gonna be able to do anything because it's gonna be too heavy. So we're gonna do it prior. So how I do it, I build something like this. So this is all spot welded. So I just cut normal strip, and then I make then I cut small strips like these, and then I just do a spot weld. So I just put this one while it was let's say, I'll show you, because I need to do it for positive side anyway. So how I do it is I just cut normal strip and I put it on top of the cells. Okay, so something like this. Okay, just consider them flat, and I take a marker and I make a dot. I put a dot in between, like the center of the cell, all along the cell line. So once I do that, so it comes out something like that. If you can see it, you see the dot, you see the dot, you see that, and I put my small strip in the center as well, and I just try to keep it as 90-degree as possible. So all of that, so I don't have to do any guessing. So once I build this, I'm just gonna put it like this, and I'm just gonna fold it like this. So you see, it's this will become my main negative. Okay, so let me spot weld this to that, and then you'll understand if you haven't. So let me do that and then get back to you guys. Okay, so here's what I do. So I spot welded. I'm gonna leave it hanging for now because I need to put a fiber board in here before I bend this way. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with positive before I connect them together. So I'm gonna do this again, put this battery down, or that part of the battery down, do this same thing again, and then I'm gonna put them next to each other and then put them together, and then I'm gonna make a sandwich. So let's do this part for positive. Okay, so here are the batteries. So this main positive also done for the main connection, main positive. So just as a safety measure, I have cut down 2 more strips. I'm gonna put it right on top of a main positive and main negative, just like that. Just so there's no bottleneck of current flowing. So I'm just gonna spot weld that as well. Same thing I'm gonna do on the negative side, and then I'm gonna put a fish tape paper or Barkley paper on that, and then I'm gonna make a sandwich. On this side, we have all the negative connections or positive connections, whatever you want to call it, all the way from main positive to first negative, second negative, third negative, fourth, fifth, and blah 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 till all the way till 20th. So we'll do that after, but for now we just gonna do the spot weld here and there, and then we're gonna put the paper in between, and then we'll just fold it over. Okay, so the positive side is done. So what I've done, I've used the fiber board on the side, and then I bend over this main positive, and I use the tape to keep it that way. Even though once you bend the metal, it stays that way, but it was still just to make it more secure. You can also use Kapton tape, because once I do the soldering, it's gonna get hot, and this glue is gonna start melting a little. But I've done it in the past. It doesn't do that much melting. So as long as you use high, like I use a 120 watt soldering iron, so it does it really fast. So it doesn't do much. But the best way is Kapton tape. But anyway, so this is the main positive. This is all fiberboard, and under there's Kapton's, sorry, not Kapton's, fish tape or fish paper. So on this side now, so this is where this one ends, right? So this is the second one, that another 10S. So I'm gonna now make a connection here. I haven't done the overlap of this strip yet, just because, you know, I have to get far. But for now, I'm gonna start doing these strips, and I'm gonna start making connections actually this way, so all the way, so then it will become 20S. And then before I fold it over, I'll go over that strip again with that, and then once I pull it this way, then I'll do all this stuff for the negative, because it'll be easier. It just right now, these two combine, I believe they are somewhere around 25 kilograms together, these two. So yeah, it's not that easy to, you know, keep moving them. So anyway, so let me just spot weld these, and then I'll put this fish paper there. I don't need to put a fiberboard on this one, because it's already here, and this one is coming up here, so you don't need to do twice. It's better if you want to do twice, but you don't need to do it. As long as the whole area is covered with one fiber board, that should be enough. Because once this one is sandwiched, I'm gonna take my fiber tape, and I'm gonna roll it all around, make it secure so it doesn't move at all. So that's what the plan. So let's do this for now, and then I'll get back to you after I do this and that, and then we'll put the battery on top. So here's the progress. So the fish tape, fiberboard fish tape, that overlap's already done. This one is gonna fold that way, but once I'm gonna bring this one here now, flip it over. Now the hard part is first the weight, of course, and second to find out where the cut is. So I'm gonna have to go find it out from here, both sides, and then I'm gonna take both hands and I'm gonna flip it over. So another thing is you want to make sure that everything is covered, so those ones don't come in contact with these ones. Okay, all right, so let's flip it over, and then we'll do the negative side terminals. Okay, so here's the battery for now. I put a fiber sheet underneath main positive, main negative. These are all the balancing connections. So I decided to put the BMS on this side. Battery is gonna stand like this in the battery cavity or battery area. This one is gonna be it's not gonna be against, but it's gonna be, this side is gonna be against the wall. This one we have a little bit of a space, so they're probably gonna put a foam, but this one is still gonna be fully wrapped with the foam. So right now I just put a double-sided tape, put the BMS here. I'm taking the main negative, which is black wire, and I'm just gonna take it straight like this. I'm gonna cut it right here, I'm gonna solder it, and I'm gonna do one by one to all, and then I'm gonna tape it on top so it's neat. I usually bundle the wires together for future use. This one I'm gonna just cut the wires as where it's needed, and then so I don't have to make a like a knot of wires. So it's too long, what they provided. So I'm just gonna cut, solder. I'm gonna do for each connection. And main positive, I forgot to take the connection out of here, so I'm gonna have to utilize the main bus bar or whatever I created the bus bar. So once that is all connected, we can at least turn on the BMS with a Bluetooth application. It's an Ant BMS app that it supports, and it also has a 1 amp auto balancing feature. So let's do the wiring, soldering, and then main, negative, and positive we can do it at the end. Okay, so the wiring has been done. All the balancing wires I just need to tape here, and it's all coming from here. These ones need to be cut because this is a 24S BMS, and but I'm using it for 20S, so I just need to cut these wires. BMS is already on, so as you can see, and now it's just auto balancing is just being done on its own. I just had to do a temporary wire for B negative to main B negative of the BMS to turn on the BMS, and I'm gonna leave it overnight. It's gonna just auto balance the cells. Right now they're quite unbalanced. I think the difference is 0.28 volts, which is quite high for me. So I'm gonna let it balance, and I'm gonna come back like in a day or two, and by the time it should be balanced, it has 1 amp BMS, 1 amp auto balancing feature. So once it's all balanced, I'm gonna do a full charge. Then I'm gonna do a capacity test. When that passes, after that I'm gonna seal this up and then do a shrink wrap like that blue battery right there. So then I'll show you how to do that, or how I do it. So everything is okay for now, and now it just needs to rest and do the balancing on its own. Okay, so here's after all the taping. So everything is fiber taped. It looks like a bunch, but it is. Instead of cutting up those 3 extra wires, I just rolled it around inside and I taped it. For the main negative, I took 3 very thick wires, pure copper, and I soldered it to 3 points, 1, 2, and 3. So probably you can see it better. So 1, 2, and 3. So they're all going to be negative. For positive, let me turn it around. So for positive, I soldered a copper wire on top of that strip, and then I took a 6-gauge wire, pure copper, and I cut it. I removed the insulation from here, and from here, and I soldered it to the wire that I soldered it on top of the metal strip. So it's a lot of solder, and I taped it on top. That's how I do it. There's like a bunch of ways you can do it, but that's how I do it. So I've got my main positive, and for the negative is gonna come from the BMS. So I'm gonna make a connection from here, same gauge, 6-gauge wire, and I'm gonna bring it here and up. I made a mistake. This one should have been coming that way out, so this way my negative would have been coming that way out, but I totally forgot and I soldered it that way. So now it's coming out onto the left instead of to the right. So now I just have to snake the negative wire as well, and then bring it out on this side. So they're both coming from one side. But anyway, it's not a big deal. It's just a little bit of like I don't know, 7-8 inches of extra wire. Doesn't matter. Shorter the wire is better, less resistance. But you know, I made a mistake, and I don't want to re-solder the whole thing. It's a lot of solder, so that's okay. It's not a big deal. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of a fiber sheet here, just so it doesn't rub around, rub against the BMS, and then I'll just do the last connection here, and then we'll do the casing, foam casing, for the final wrap, before the final wrap. So okay, let me just do the negative here. I'm gonna be using one of these connectors. Oh, come on. Damn it. So I'm gonna be using one of these connectors. And then this BMS came with the screw and the nut. So I'm gonna be tightening that with that. So, okay, so let's do that. So here's the negative wire, and then it's just going around. So, tape, everything is taped. Now we're gonna do the boxing. So for the outside casing, before that, so I put foam to protect the BMS. So I put a foam like half an inch or a couple of centimeters above the line, the base, the BMS line. So even though it's still it flexes, but BMS is going to be protected. I put it on both sides. So for the exterior, I'm using this foam. It's like, I don't know how much thick it is, but regardless, I got it from the dollar store. So it is pretty hard. So I cut it based on the dimensions. So I cut it, I put it at the bottom, I put it on the top, and I'm gonna do all the walls. So I'm gonna put it the walls one by one, and I'm gonna secure it with the tape. So it's gonna go all around. So let me do that, and then I'll show you how it looks. Okay guys, that's how it looks now. So it's all sealed. I'm just gonna tape the corners at the end before I do the PVC wrapping, but it's all done. And at the bottom. So here's the wires coming. I'm just gonna label them later. So use as much fiber tape as you can to keep it secure. It is very heavy though. Whoops. Okay. So next step, just to do the corners with the tape. I almost ran out of tape now. I gotta go buy some more tomorrow. And then I'll do the wrap, the blue wrap, and then I'll do the connectors to the wire. And that would be it. But okay, so let's stay tuned. So the dimensions, so just a little less than 16 on this side. On the thickest side is the center. Just a little 7.5, and height is 1/4 to 9 inches. Just built, fully wrapped. The terminals currently, I can put an Anderson or XT90 or a O-rings, whatever you guys want.